Hello there, class. Well, we got a new thing that we're going to do today, something brand new for you guys, and it is dividing decimals. Okay, so there's really only one thing different about dividing decimals than normal division, and that's what to do with the decimal. So let's say that we have 5 and 68/100ths divided by 4. Step 1. Bring decimal straight up. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, our decimal is right here, and we're just going to bring it straight up. That's the very first thing we do. Bring the decimal up. Step 2, divide like normal. So I have 5 and 68/100ths divided by 4. Okay, over here I'm going to make my notes. So I remember the order I do. I divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. And then if I have anything to bring down, remember, I have to go through and divide again. Okay, so step 1 said to bring the decimal straight up. So I'm going to do that. And now step 2 says divide like normal. All right, so I'm going to ask myself, how many groups of 4 can fit into 5? 1. Now I'm at multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. And now I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. And now I'm going to bring down. So I'm going to bring down the 6. And I go back up and divide again. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Notice that I put the 4 right above the 6, so see my decimal point is in between here. 4 times 4 is 16. I subtract, and of course 16 minus 16 is 0. So now I'm at bring down. I'm going to bring down the 8. Remember, if I bring down, that means I have to divide again. So I'm back and divide again. How many groups of 4 will fit into 8? It's 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And so there we go. 5 and 68/100ths divided by 4 is 1 and 42/100ths. Okay, now we have some special cases when we divide decimals, and that is if we have a remainder. So let's take this note here because this is extremely important. If you have a remainder, you're going to write a 0 after the last digit of the dividend and bring it down. And divide again. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. Let's say we have 45 and 8/10 divided by 4. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do, same as the other directions, we're going to bring the decimal straight up. That's the very first thing we do. So there's my decimal, brought it straight up. Okay? Now, I go through the division process. 4 goes once into 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract 0, bring down the 5. 4 goes once into 5. 1 times 4, of course, is 4. Now I'm at subtract again. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then bring down the 8. I've got to ask myself how many groups of 4 will fit into 18. Well, that's going to be 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 18 minus 16, oh, I have a remainder. I have a remainder of 2. Now remember, this is very important. When dividing decimals, we are not going to leave a remainder. Let me say that again. We will not leave a remainder. So what does it say we're going to do? We're going to write a 0 after the last digit of the dividend. So here's my dividend right here. I'm going to put a 0 here. And then what does it say to do with that 0? Bring it down and divide again. So I'm going to bring it down. And that makes this 20. So divide again. 4 will go how many times into 20? 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And of course when we subtract, I've run out of room here, but we have 0. So my answer to 45 and 8/10 divided by 4 is 11 and 45/100. It's going to take a little bit of practice to get used to this part. So let's do 2 practice problems. Let's do 456 and 4/10 divided by 2. And let's do 39 and 9/10 divided by 3. Alrighty then, we'll see you later.